Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. Today we'll see a huge list of actionable tips to help you fall asleep faster tonight. I've been in your situation. I know how it feels to struggle to fall asleep. It's horrible. And falling asleep in just 5 to 10 minutes feels impossible. It feels like a superpower. But it's gonna happen with the tips I'm gonna share with you today. So make sure to stay till the end. Firstly, the most important thing to fall asleep faster and for your overall sleep quality is sleep regularity. Sleeping around the same hours every single day. That's essential to regulate your body's internal clock, the so-called circadian clock, right? Let's say you go to bed exactly at 11 p.m. every single day. After 3 to 4 days, you're gonna be used to it, right? So around 10:30 p.m., you're gonna naturally feel sleepy, which is gonna make it easier to fall asleep pretty obviously. So try to go to bed and to wake up around the same times every single day, even on the weekends. That's the most powerful parameter for your sleep quality. Now let's get to more actionable tips that you can use today. The first one is finish eating your last meal of the day, your dinner, at least 2 hours before bedtime. That tool is extremely underrated. I've seen no one talk about it almost. Actually, when you're digesting food, especially after a big meal, not only you feel bloated and you don't feel great, but also your body temperature increases and your heart rate increases as well, right? And that's the exact opposite of what you want to fall asleep and to stay asleep, right? To stay asleep, to fall asleep, you need your body temperature to be lower than baseline, lower than during the day, and you need your heart rate to be also pretty low. So it just makes sense from a physiological perspective that you don't want to go to bed immediately after eating a big meal. That's completely nonsense. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours. Elon Musk says it. Elon Musk doesn't sleep that much, but obviously the few hours of sleep he gets each night need to be high quality. So if he says stop eating 2 to 3 hours before going to bed, you might as well listen. Now, the next tip is find a pre-sleep routine, a pre-sleep ritual. You actually have a pre-sleep routine already. You brush your teeth, you take a shower, you do your skincare maybe, and that's great because it actually sends a signal to your brain that it's time to go to bed, it's time to be sleepy right now. Remember, your brain and body, they love rituals, they love it. But what I want you to do is to incorporate a relaxing moment, a relaxing activity into your pre-sleep ritual. You don't want to only, go to the restroom and take a shower, but you also want to actually wind down, relax your body. Simply read a book or meditate, do some breathing exercises or praying. Whatever, just do something that is pretty calm, that doesn't require any alertness. This way you teach your body to calm down and it's gonna make it easier to fall asleep. So find a pre-sleep ritual and repeat it each night. It doesn't have to be too long, it can be just 5 minutes meditating. But if you do it each night consistently and you don't miss a single day, your brain is gonna be programmed. So every time you're gonna do that ritual, you're gonna naturally feel more sleepy. The next advice is view bright light as early as possible. As you probably know, light exposure suppresses melatonin, which is one of the hormones involved in sleepiness. So you don't want to get too much light at night, but in the morning, within the first hour after waking up, you want to get as much natural bright light as possible because it ensures the synchronization between the natural day-night cycle and your body's internal clock, your circadian clock. So if you take bright light exposure in the morning, even if it's cloudy, there's still sun rays passing through the clouds, it's definitely way better to go outside even on a cloudy day rather than staying indoors. So just go outside. Take natural bright light for 5 to 10 minutes and it's gonna set your circadian clock, making you more sleepy at night. And again, at night, you don't wanna get too much bright light exposure. You really want only dim lights, tiny lamps if that's possible. And that leads me to the next advice actually, which is to manage your environment. You want a dark environment. Again, you want your room to be completely dark, no light at all, but you also want your environment to be pretty cool. The ideal temperature for sleep, according to science, is around 64 degrees Fahrenheit, which is approximately 18 degrees Celsius. So if you live in a very hot area, you should definitely remind yourself to open the window a few hours before going to bed. This way you let the air circulate You can also use aircon or a ventilator fan. Use anything you want to get as close as possible to 18 degrees Celsius. Now, something that you should avoid is taking naps, especially if you're not used to it, right? You have to think about it. Taking naps is going to just disrupt your sleep schedule, your sleep rhythm. So if you want to sleep faster at night, just avoid taking naps. The next advice is to exercise a lot during the day. That's pretty obvious. We all know exercise is good for our health, but I'm not just advising to exercise. I'm advising you to exercise as hard as possible. Get exhausted. If you go in the gym, if you lift weights, train to failure like a freaking animal. Give everything you got. Give 100%. This way at night, you truly feel mental and physical fatigue, right? So if you go to the gym, if you run, if you do cardio, if you play a sport, whatever, give everything you have. And finally, the last actionable tip that I want to give you is to use aromatherapy. It's some smells, some particular scents like lavender and chamomile that you smell and that naturally make you more sleepy. You just have to put a few droplets on your pillow and it's going to make you more sleepy. It's not something magic. It's not something that's going to boost your sleep quality out of nowhere. It's much more important to focus on sleep regularity and on all the other tips I've shared today than this one. But still, if you want to use it, go for it. So to recap the whole video, the whole list, what you need to dramatically reduce the time it takes you to fall asleep is to firstly get a consistent sleep schedule. Sleep regularity is the king. Finish eating dinner at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. Find a pre-sleep ritual, a pre-sleep routine that you repeat every single night, no matter what. View bright light in the morning within the first hour after waking up. Master your environment, so a dark environment and a cool environment around 64 degrees Fahrenheit. Exercise a lot during the day, get exhausted, train like an animal, and avoid naps and use aromatherapy. As always, all these scientific references are in the description below. You can check them if you want. If you want to support me, the best way to do it is to leave a like, subscribe, and click the bell button. And if you enjoyed this video, you can let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.